That big boss, that's special. It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level. Second level gaming. Second level.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another couch conversation. The same faces as usual: Keegan, Jordan, Tom. You should know us by now, hopefully, unless you haven't seen us before. Then hi, welcome.
Yeah. Hey.
We're gonna talk today about I don't want to say controversial topic, but it's a topic that's coming up more and more, is disc versus digital games. As you guys know, I'm primarily digital, and we'll go through the pros and cons of each. You tend to be more disc, Tom.
Yeah.
Jordan, primarily disc, but you'll do digital if...
I'll do whatever is most convenient.
Yes.
And that's my stance.
Yeah. So...
Catch conversation.
Yeah, done.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah. So with digital, the pros to digital are the fact that, one, you can pre-install it. You don't have to wait for the day one update that happens. You don't have to wait for that, the day one patch.
Yeah.
You can get it as the time of release. So a lot of times I'll get it at 11 p.m. because we're in Central Standard Time. Most games release at midnight Eastern.
Yeah.
So we can get it right then and there. And this is real lazy, but I don't have to get up and switch games. Like, that's to me the pros of having a digital library. Especially if I'm playing with friends, I'm like, oh, I want to switch games. At home, my games are literally on the other side of my desk, so I got to walk out and around. They're not near my TV, so it's like 20 steps.
Oh, fuck my life.
I'm in game mode. I don't want to do that.
Will you do it?
So
No, and all those things make sense. Like, digital makes sense from a convenience standpoint. It is 100% that.
For us lazy folk.
Yeah, and like, I think the biggest selling point for digital, in my opinion, is the fact that, like, you can get it instantaneously. Like, that's the probably the major downside with a physical copy of something, is that I can't get it until either I go out to a store or I have Amazon
Delivered at 8 o'clock at night.
And if Amazon does something right, they did for the third time in 1 month with the game that arrived today. They said I was gonna get it a week later.
Wow.
So, like, there's that kind of shit that can happen.
Amazon is good though for, well, I guess we'll get into it when we're talking physical, but getting it day one is the big thing for me. But I don't pre-order too many games. There's been a couple, but like Star Wars that night and The Division the night it came out, there was 4 of us ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like being the first person on the server.
Sure.
And like, let's go figure this out.
Yeah.
Especially if we're live streaming. Like, the day the game launches, it gives you that advantage of having it right then and there.
Definitely gives YouTubers a heads up.
Yes.
That's a good.
Unless you get a press copy, which we're not cool enough to get a lot of those because
We
have
have
a few of
couple,
them, but
yeah.
like the big games, we still go out and buy all of them.
So like with my PS4, my PlayStation, my Vita, and stuff like that, like, I generally really enjoy having the cases, because like with the PS4 especially, there's like the unified, like, the binding with it and everything like that, and that was cool. But like, what's interesting to me is that over the past year, 2 years since I've been doing Steam a lot more, they don't, like, physical PC games.
Can you buy PC games anymore?
Like, every once in a while.
Yeah.
But like Civilization 6 just got announced, and like, I pre-ordered that, but like, there is no physical copy of that. Like, there's I don't think there's a physical copy of XCOM 2. There may be, but I haven't actually seen it in a brick and mortar store. And like, that's the other thing, is, can you find it anywhere? So like, I don't know, like, if there's a physical edition and the artwork is cool, that's part of the reason why I like getting the physical copy
as well.
Yes.
Yeah, if there's a cool collector's edition, like I have Dark Souls
That's
3
one thing I
collector's
wish.
edition, and like, you can get the collector's edition and all that same content in the digital format, which is neat.
Unless they have something with it.
Yeah, but like, like with my Dark Souls 3, I got the really cool Red Knight statue,
And you got the books.
and I got the books, and I got the map, and like, there's a bunch of cool stuff that, like, if I'm paying $100 for the digital and $100 for that, or $120 for that really cool physical edition, but I get A, B, and C with the physical edition.
Makes
That
more
to me
sense.
is always gonna and I've always just liked physical, like the tangible everything. Like, I still occasionally buy physical books. I stopped doing that because it sucks to move with physical books.
Yes, books, movies, and DVDs are the worst things to move with.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, I just really like being able to look up at, like I'm looking at Tom's shelf over here, and there's a plethora of different video game styles, and it's just like, okay, this is like what this used to be, and here's how it is now. So it's like this cool timeline.
Yes, and that's one thing I do miss, is having my shelf. Like, I'm a Blu-ray guy.
Yeah.
I always Blu-ray. I always get the digital version, which I wish a lot of times if you got a physical disc, they gave you the digital code. I would be a fan of that.
Great.
I don't think they ever will, because then you could give it to your friend. But I think it should have some sort of authentication. Like, you can only put it on one thing. So if you put the disc in first, put the disc in with the code or something like that.
And it can only go to like that VIN, like the ID number for the PS4
or to your account, your PSN account. which is what they do with digital games. Obviously the big con, which I know Tom does a lot, and I don't know if you do as much, but the big con to digital is no selling them.
Yeah.
Microsoft's
Microsoft
talk
on
about potentially having something happen with that, but
I mean, that's why I did to get Doom for super cheap, was I traded in 2 games and I got Doom for $6. Like,
And that's something that for me is the reason why I'll never go fully digital, is because I do trade a lot. And there's a lot of gamers out there, I'm sure, like myself, that maybe don't hold on to a game and play it multiple times, don't try and get all the trophies, just want to have an experience of the story, and then unless it's something that has a particularly engaging multiplayer, you're probably gonna not play it again for a while. And like, this is the reason why recently, like, Uncharted 4 came out. I'm a big Uncharted fan, but I did not want to spend $60 of my hard-earned money on a game that I'm gonna play once and probably never again. So luckily I have good friends and I got a copy lent to me, but that's kind of the whole idea of it, is that you can't lend a digital copy as well.
yeah.
You
can
not
trade a
easily.
digital
Yeah, not
copy
easily. You can,
for
but not easily.
money. And it's just there's a lot of variables around that. Now, that being said, I do like digital for indie games because they are smaller.
And they
File
don't have to pay
size.
for packaging.
Yep.
Yeah, and they don't have to pay
So
pay
from
for
a,
packaging.
theoretically, it'd be cheaper games.
But like, if there's something like the Sherlock Holmes games and stuff, wasn't really an indie game, but the shorter, like 5-6 hour games, you know, I don't mind those either. I'm not a big fan of putting games the size of ESO or The Division on my my PlayStation, because frankly I have trouble with space, and I end up deleting just to make room for more digital games.
Especially
so
when
I
we
don't
come over
get-
to record.
Yeah.
Right, and I don't get the benefit of being able to swap between my entire library because I don't have a big enough library.
And
'cause I
that's
can
one of the
never
things
build it.
I had to do, because I do mostly digital and I have everything installed. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive for that reason, because
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
that's what I was going to do, and
And
it
I
made the
don't.
most sense.
So that's
And I-
kind of the downfall for me.
Mm-hmm.
I only have that 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the big downfalls of hard copies too is that, like, you still have that install file that you have to go through and
Yeah.
do. So like, Doom is a 48 gig size game, and like, I'm still, even though I have that physical disc,
Still have to wait for
having
it to
to
finish.
install and do those things. So like,
Far
if
faster,
there's
though.
yeah, it's far faster, but I'm
Yes.
still taking up that same amount of space that I would
Correct.
if it was the digital version.
Which I wonder why they. I assume that's just for performance reasons.
it's, for,
'cause
it's so that the
quicker to read off
disk
the
drive doesn't have to spin as quickly.
Yeah,
like,
I assume that's what
Yeah.
that's for.
the one thing that I always worry about with digital, and it's kind of something we're running into with like older physical versions of the games, is like what happens when like a server is like
Done.
non-existent. So like you have the digital version, like Sony's like, okay, like all of our PS4 game servers, you know, this is like when we have the PS4.9 or whatever it is down the line, or the PS20.
They shut down the PS4
They
servers.
shut down the PS4 servers, and you're just like, oh fuck, like I really wanted to go through and play Uncharted 4 again. Like, I know that this game looks like shit now because I'm playing everything in, like in VR all the time in my face.
And that's
and-
a concern I have, because one of the things I think one of the reasons I think there's more remasters of games, or there's been a surge in it, is because of the digital. I don't want to say revolution, but digital is becoming more and more of a thing. And it started. I mean, I think the music industry led it first.
yeah.
With
There's
it,
also
and
a
then
lot of
Netflix took
nostalgia
over.
as well that's gone into it, because a lot of the games that are coming out redefined are like obviously older games, but you are finding that they're doing it with games that are kind of just newer. Like Dishonored had one recently, and you had Devil May Cry had some, and they had I mean, there's just been a bunch of them that just HD remastered.
And I
Uncharted.
think they do that
Yeah.
though to preserve the history. So like,
Yeah, which is great, and I
It's-
love that they do that. But again, you know,
I gotta
it's
buy the game
something that
again,
would
which
be
kinda
nice
sucks.
Well,
to
that's why
have
they're
physical
really
copy.
doing
Yeah.
it. It's not that it can say preserve history, but it's like,
to buy the
we
game
want you to
again.
buy this game
Make
again.
more money.
Yeah.
But no, like, I think with indie games, digital makes 100% sense.
I
Like,
mean, I think the indie game explosion happened because of Xbox Live Arcade. Like that's, I think that kind of pushed the indie game
I think that was
on
the golden
console.
era.
The big,
and now there's Steam,
push.
I think that's kind of taken that to the
Oh, yeah.
next level
Oh,
with like
yes.
how easy it is just to get a game on Steam. Like, literally every fuck can make a game.
I have a
and
buddy
put it
who
on
put
Steam.
one on within like a week and a half.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
But no, like, I think they both have their merits. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think as long as I can, as long as I have the space for it, I will consider my game shelf like, you know, likened it to a library
Mm-hmm.
of sorts. Like, I mean, I know that people will come into it and be like, oh, you don't ever get laid, and I'll be like, ha, yeah. But
Yeah, video games.
but still be able to, like, to
Hot
be able to,
coffee.
like, go into like a study and have like my bookshelves
Mm-hmm.
and like my record collection, and then have my video game
You're
collection.
sounding more and more hipster every day.
And like, to be able to do all of that, there's always going to be that great feeling that I get,
Mm-hmm.
which I can't get by just going through my library and seeing an alphabetical list of like
I
games through that.
I think the best, like I said earlier, the best thing would be a digital and physical. Like if I get a physical copy, give me the digital download,
But they
and I'll
don't
be happy.
Blu-rays.
Like movies.
Yeah. That to me would be best of both worlds, because that way I still have that physical disc, because I like having the physical disc like you for collection, bringing over to people's houses and stuff like that, but digital is so damn
Or just give a
convenient.
portion of it. Like if you have the physical disc, like hey, you can get the digital single player, and like then you have to buy a license for like the multiplayer. Or like if you buy the digital game, you get the full thing or whatever.
I think the big summary here is just that there's pros and cons of both. And it is very much a personal preference, but it is just, it's different strokes for different folks, man.
Yeah.
What do you guys do? Do you guys do more digital? If you're what platform are you on, and how do you buy games? Are you PC, Xbox, PS4, Wii U, I guess now? How do you guys buy it, and what are your pros and cons to it? Let us know in the comments down below. Yes.
Digital
So-
or physical?
So, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
As always, I love doing these couch conversations.
Yeah, they're
So,
Yeah.
thanks for watching, and as always, welcome to the second level. Bye. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to us when you do watch your videos. We are just 3 guys in a basement, literally filming, making video game commentary videos, whatever you want to call these, and we have a lot of fun, so we really do appreciate it. If you guys want to see more, hit subscribe down below, thumbs up this video, and just tell us what you think about us. If good or bad, we'll take any sort of feedback.